Have you ever set out to do something in Minecraft, or real life, and accidentally bit off more than you can chew? I like to call this the too big trap. As creators, it's tempting to chase the biggest bones, to make huge, ambitious projects, the mega bases, the gigantic farms, but sometimes the best videos and builds come from keeping things simple and achievable. This is also true for the everyday. Anyone who wants to accomplish something can sometimes make the goal too big for the amount of time they give themselves. This is something I've fallen into a lot. So, I try to break the bigger goals into
smaller ones and go from there.
And that's exactly what today's video is about. A simple wool farm. Sheep are awesome. They provide both food and wool. In Minecraft, wool is a great block to create colorful banners or buildings. In my case, I want the colorful options to use for some builds later on. So today, I'm keeping things manageable and creating Wool Island. It's not the biggest thing ever, but still the largest island so far. And it's going to be just what I need. A beautiful home for many different sheep and a place to build some auto wool farms. And I want to make sure it's got space on the inside for the farms to go. The first step is to get the dirt we need. This took a lot of dirt. If only my shovels were as sturdy as my ambitions. I used over 6 iron shovels and I still need more dirt. I really need to upgrade my gear soon. But in the meantime, let's keep breaking blocks. In all honesty, I did run out of dirt at one point while making the island, so I had to go back and get some more. But we got there in the end. As I start the outline, I don't really care to make this look like a perfect circle. Islands in real life aren't circles, so why should floating ones be? I also prefer how the misshapenness helps it look more natural. I don't want this to be flat either, so let's add a bit of depth with some small hills. Before we get to the underside, I want to show you something cool. I had discovered that it's possible to make a Genesect, a mythical bug and steel type Pokemon. So, I shared this knowledge with Downtime. Ooh, can I have a Skulk as well?
Hey, go for it.
Sweet. I might get a Genesect, so...
Oh wait, is that how you get Genesect?
Yeah, you can get Genesect by putting a dome fossil in with a dubious disc in the Resurrection machine.
Disc. I'm trying to find it. Oh, dubious disc. Ooh, 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 ooh. And a dome fossil, you said?
Yeah. I don't know if you know some of the... It's not really lore, it's all just kind of fan conjecture, but people believe that Genesect is just a Kabuto that's been altered by Team Plasma.
Yeah, I remember that from the Nova region.
For this, I needed a dubious disc. You can actually craft one with some skulk, tinted glass, an amethyst, and a sea lantern. I could throw this in the fossil restoration machine with a dome fossil and start the process. Change vibes. There we go.
Oh my god.
I'm really curious to see what the what it's gonna look like in the tank.
Same. You're gonna have to call me over in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think it takes like 10 or 15 minutes. But yeah, I'll call you over. Since this was going to take about 15 minutes, it was a good way to multitask while still staying focused on making the wool farm. Sometimes you gotta fit in what you can, when you can. Downtime was helping me out when I showed him how to do this. After the machine was done, I had a level 1 Genesect. Oh, Downtime, the Genesect is done if you want to come look at it. It is very funny. Look, it's just a substitute doll.
Do you want to put it in a beast ball?
I was just going to put it in this. There it is. It's 41%.
It's not bad. That is cool.
I could get a whole bunch if I wanted to. And I might, since this one's individual values are pretty bad. But with that, let's get back to the building. For the underside of the island, I just used whatever stone materials I had in hand. When you're building up in the sky, it could be tedious to go all the way underground for a bunch of stone. Luckily, downtime came in clutch. At Team Redstone, which you can learn more about in my last video, we are working on clearing out an ancient city, which means we have a lot of extra deep slate. Thanks for bringing it, DT. Now we can continue to fill out the bottom. I made sure to leave the inside hollow for the farms, and now we've got a nice looking island. Downtime also brought a bunch of grass blocks to help me greenify it. Extra hands make lighter work. Now we just need some sheep. Being able to fly on Pokemon is amazing. I can just attach a lead to a sheep and off we go! Soon, Wool Island was full of them. Now we can work on the auto wool farms. These things are great. They are efficient and don't take much to set up. However, you do need a fair bit of iron for them. Luckily, there's a shopping district where we can buy stacks of iron blocks. I already have a bunch of observers from some failed experiments, but we also need dispensers, hoppers, hopper minecarts, rails, and chests. I use glass too, since I like to see the sheep in all their colorful glory. These farms are nice and compact, so I keep everything close together. Once I had a few built, I made sure to grab some sheep and plop them into their new homes. I wanted to dye the sheep different colors, so I wouldn't have to worry about dyeing wool for each project. Downtime helped me out yet again by bringing me a bunch of dyes I didn't have. Thank you so much. Let's get these sheep colored and start the farms. It already takes a bunch of iron for the hoppers and minecarts, but we also need shears. A lot of shears. This really starts to add up. Perhaps I should make my own iron farm so I don't have to rely on the shop too much. That'll be a future problem for my future self. Let's finish up these farms. I should have space for every color eventually, but these will suffice for now. Originally, this was just going to be one part of a bigger video. I was planning to make a much bigger build that involved all these smaller things just to get to it. That's when I realized I fell into the too big trap. I started to bite off more than I could chew, and I wasn't sure I'd be able to keep to my upload schedule. I'd rather make you guys a better video of something simple than try to rush something big. Though I do have bigger projects in the works that I hope you'll stick around to see. But I'd rather take my time to build it well and get you guys a video you'll enjoy. If a task seems too big, then try to break it up into smaller, more achievable goals and take them one step at a time. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a bit shorter than usual, but I fit in all I could this week. I've been breeding a lot of different Pokemon for some upcoming tournaments on the SMP, and that's been eating away most of my time. But I hope it'll be worth it when we get to battling the others on the server. Thanks for watching, and until next time, may your strikes be swift, your crits be true, and your typing ever strong. Farewell.